Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Overnight into March 20th, the Russian army attacked Ukraine with around 150 strike drones of various types. The main portion of the strikes were directed at the port infrastructure and southern regions of the country. In the Odessa region, a Russian attack damaged two bulk carriers loaded with grain in the port of Chernomorsk. Despite the strike, both vessels remained afloat. Two people were wounded and received medical assistance. In addition to the ships, administrative buildings were damaged and a fire broke out. Also in the south, in the Zaporizhzhia region, 3 people were killed and 4 wounded, including a child, in the aftermath of Russian attacks. Private homes and infrastructure facilities were also destroyed. Moving now to the front line, in the Zaporizhzhia sector, Russian command is redeploying additional units to the area. Currently, Russian forces are conducting low-intensity assault operations, attempting to restore positions in Primorsk, where Ukrainian counterattacks had left Moscow's forces in control of only one street in the southern part of the Stelman, and they're planning to eliminate Ukrainian breakthroughs in Stepnohirsk. Ukrainian forces are facing challenges as they lack sufficient manpower to simultaneously hold defensive lines and eliminate infiltrating Russian groups. Any potential Russian advance towards Zaporizhzhia through the narrow corridor between the Dnieper River and Orikhiv carries significant risk, including Ukrainian counterattacks that could cut off the advancing forces. Therefore, Russian command will likely need to first eliminate the Ukrainian defensive area around Orikhiv, which would stretch their front line and disperse resources. In the Middle East, Kuwait's national oil company suspended operation at the Mina El Ahmadi refinery after an Iranian drone attack earlier on March 20th. The strike caused fire at several units and forced a partial shutdown of the facility. Emergency crews are working to contain the fire, and no casualties have been reported. This is the second consecutive day the refinery has come under attack. Iran also struck a refinery in Haifa, northern Israel. According to Israeli media and eyewitnesses, a fire broke out at the site and parts of the city experienced power outages. Officials later reported minor damage and no casualties, noting that debris from an intercepted missile fell on the facility. At the same time, Kuwait reported that its air defense systems intercepted multiple drone attacks, while the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia also said that their militaries were responding to new Iranian strikes. Saudi authorities reported that drones were successfully intercepted and destroyed in several regions. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces announced a new wave of strikes targeting infrastructure in Tehran, continuing the escalation of the conflict. An Israeli missile struck an area in southern Lebanon near where a film crew from the Russian propaganda television channel Russia Today was working. At the time of the strike, the journalists were near the site of the explosion. According to available information, 2 employees of the channel sustained injuries of varying severity.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted. Fucking hell. Fuck! Where?
Two nearly identical combat incidents were recorded in the Konstantinivka sector of the front, once again highlighting the dangers of the modern battlefield. Now, in both cases, Russian FPV drones exploded just centimeters away from Ukrainian troops, with operators guiding the aircraft directly towards the soldiers' positions. Miraculously, neither of the explosions caused any injuries. The soldiers suffer only concussions and shock and remain combat ready.
Повтори. Нет.
Ром, откуда она взялась? Быстрее! Быстрее!
In the Zaporizhzhia region, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces carried out a successful mission in the village of Richne. They cleared a private home and an administrative building that had been infiltrated by small groups of Russian troops. In the aftermath, the Russians suffered losses, with some paratroopers killed and others taken prisoner. Ukrainian units have secured the area and are in control of both sides.
Машину! К другому дому! Мне было цинкуем вокруг стороны, пацаны! Высыпаемся! Браво! Со мной! Второй этаж! Со мной один на второй этаж, второй этаж. Раз, два, три, зашли, зашли. Чисто! Это еще так правильно, блядь, шаг.
Я Попенко Иван Александрович, солдат 108-го десантно-штурмового полка. Мог бы сдохнуть, но благодарен Химере за то, что я остался жив.
Я сержант Медведников Владимир Алексеевич, военнослужащий 108-го десантно-штурмового полка. Не сдох благодаря Химере.
Ukrainian suicide UAVs carried out a series of strikes against Russian military installations in temporarily occupied Crimea. Strikes were recorded in areas around 3 different settlements. According to preliminary data, a Valde radar station, an electronic warfare system, a Shahar drone, control relay, and a GLONASS ground navigation system were all destroyed. The strikes targeted components that supported the operation of enemy UAV surveillance, navigation, and control systems. And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.